Good day, everyone. In today's video, I wanted to discuss classic editions or classic publishings in classic literature or modern classics. For those of you that like to read classic literature or like to collect, like myself, classic literature, sometimes you need a little bit of guidance when it comes to which edition should I buy. As to which I would say, well, it's going to depend of a few factors. Whether is you want to collect them or do you want to take, in-depth annotations? Do you need them for school? Do you need them for college? So it all going to vary depending on your needs and also how much money are you willing to invest in them. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about all this, and hopefully, I can give you some clearance as to which path you should choose. So, let's get started immediately. And our first pick absolutely has to be the most common because it's what you're going to find the most when you go to the bookstore, and that is whether it's Penguin Classics or the Oxford World Classics. And these are extremely popular for a reason. They give you a vast catalog of authors and works to work with, so they have pretty much every single thing that you can think of. Also, the way that the books are structured is very interesting because they always try to give you a timeline so you get to know the author and kind of like how the works were laid out, major events in history at that time that maybe impacted the work of that particular writer, and also events in the life of the author that is very important history wise. So when it comes to these two, is going to be 100% personal preference because they are very similar. Something that I would say Penguin because obviously comes from Random House. Their catalog is massive. They are very diverse when it comes to classic literature and modern classics. You are going to find volumes, but for the most part is single takes on the most famous work of certain writers. They also play around with their covers. This is the classic Penguin covers, but you might, as you dig and you do a little bit of research, you might find orange covers or you might find green covers. You might find the special edition covers that are nicely illustrated. And when it comes to the Oxford, their catalog is not as big and they tend to be more seasonal. So they put a little bit more attention to their imprints. I wish they would have more availability when it comes to the public market because they are a little bit hard to find. But if you walk around Barnes& and Nobles or maybe an indie bookstore, you can also find them on Amazon and you can also find them on eBay. So it's again, like I said, it's just personal preference. And in my case, I would definitely go with Oxford just because the commentary of the introductions to the work and the author, the timelines, the writing seems to be more cohesive and more thoughtful. Also, sometimes at the end, you get some commentary that try to stay in this scholarly edge. So it's something that I really appreciate. If you are someone that you really like and be interested in foreign writers, mostly European, works that maybe are more obscure, not vastly known, but works in translation. I would say definitely something that you need to try is Everman's Library. In this case, I have a pocket version of the Venice short stories, and is this is a edition that I have come to appreciate a lot. The quality of the paper is very nice. They don't open to us nicely, like you really have to work them through it sometimes, but once you get used to it and you get past it, it's just very nice. The curation of the authors and the works are again very thoughtful. So if you like to explore works that are less mundane and more intriguing, Everyman's Library gives you a good selection to entertain you. Just for references purposes, I want to show you this is a normal size, and this is a compendium, a volume of short stories. This is their pocket size, and this is their normal size. So, again, just so you can see them side by side and compare, this one is a little bigger, but not by much. But again, the quality is not compromised. The type of letter, the font. I mean, these are books that are made to last. So even if you spend a little more on them, I would say, $20 to $28, I would say they are so worth it, because they will last you a very long time. Also, when it comes to works in translation and more obscure and interesting and adventurous works, I would say something that is going to take you out of a routine is definitely New York Book Review editions. Their catalog is just immense. Their job is actually to bring forward works and essays and books and writers that deserve to be known. Uh, their work deserves to be spread, but for some reason, they're not in circulation. So, what they do is that I guess they do a lot of research to curate their list, and they bring forward the work that is not currently in print, and they bring their own editions. So I have a few here so I can show you. This is Chekhov, Anton Chekhov. This is my well-loved Abigail by Magda Sabo. She was a modern classic writer for Hungary, and Free Day by Ines Catnati, a very well respected modern classic author in Italy. So, if you like to experiment with books that are not easy to find and you just want to be surprised by something that is not well known, New York Book Review. New York Book Review is definitely going to be your choice. Now, when it comes to American literature, whether it's classics or moderns, without a doubt, I need to mention Library of America. The quality of the book is superb in my opinion. Also, some people complain about the thickness of the paper because it's a little thin, but something that you have to consider is that they try to squeeze a couple of works into one volume. So if this is something that doesn't bother you, go ahead. But also, if you go to their website, they also have single works, so if that's something that interests you, you can check it out yourself. But very easy to read, very easy to open, stays flat in the surface. The font of the book is not offensive. It's very easy to read. And like I said, just with Everyman's Library, these are books that are designed to last. And obviously, like the company name said, they specialize in American literature. So if for some reason you read a lot of works that are foreign, but you want to get to know a few authors, whether it's modern, contemporary, modern classic, Library of America has very good choices and very good picks. So, one of my favorites. When it comes to scholarly terms, meaning you need certain editions that give you a little bit more of information or something that is more accessible because you need them, whether it's for high school or your college, your local college. I always recommend the Norton editions. And the reason for that is because just like the Penguin Classics and the Oxfords, they come with their timeline, they come with a small introduction, they come also with some essays of either professors of or scholars in the matter discussing the work. This one in particular that I have is from Voltaire, Candid, and very nice. I mean, if you want to get more context, more historical context about what was happening at the time, what shaped the mentality of the author, and also any debates that might have come after publication, Norton editions do a pretty good job. Also, um, lower monetary value, but also just as good, are the Barnes& Noble's classic editions. I have a few of them right here. This is the Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton, and it's one of my favorites. I mean, also very nice to read and write on, very floppy. This is one of the things that I love the most. Very easy on your hands and your fingers, your joints, doesn't bother at all. It has commentary, it has a timeline. So if this is something that is more easily accessible to you, I highly recommend it. So these are all my picks for very good editions in case you would like to collect them or you want to have them as a second choice so you can write on them so you don't use your maybe nicer editions, more expensive, but you would like to keep all your annotations into a more affordable version. I hope this was very useful to you. If you have any comments and questions, or if you have any other suggestions, just please do not hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. And until our next encounter with more book discussions, I hope you take very good care of yourself. So enjoy your day, and until then, bye bye.